So apparently Drake is still holding a grudge against Rihanna for dumping him all those years ago. It's like he's living for the legal mess going down with her baby daddy, A$AP Rocky. You think he'd be more worried about his own drama, like how Kendrick Lamar is about to call him a PDF file in a couple of weeks at the Superbowl, but it looks like he still has enough time on his hands to troll Rihanna and her baby daddy. It's no secret that Drake was obsessed with Rihanna for years, and fans are convinced that he's low-key loving the idea that Rocky might be facing some serious time. So does this mean that Drake is still into Rihanna, or is he just being a bitter ex? Drake's obsession with Rihanna has been well documented over the years, because if there is one thing we know about him, it's that he has never gotten over Rihanna dumping him, even though he was the one who cheated on her in the first place. Drake's crush on Rihanna was so obvious, it was like his entire vibe for a minute. Everyone could see that he was crazy about her. For a while, people even thought he might have finally made it out of the dreaded friend zone. But then came that infamous night, and let's just say things didn't go as planned. It was supposed to be his big moment. Drake was up there presenting Rihanna with the Video Vanguard Award, and he was laying it on thick, talking about how he's loved her since he was 22. He made it clear to everyone that he was still very much into her, and then he went in for what he thought would be a sweet romantic kiss, but Rihanna hit him with a major curve.
Been in love with since I was 22 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipient of the Michael Jackson Vanguard Award for 2016, Rihanna.
Believe it or not, Drake and Rihanna actually started dating not long after that iconic VMA's curve. And honestly, they made a super cute couple, even though the relationship was super low key. They weren't out here flaunting it on social media, but the relationship didn't last long. And because they were so private, there was barely any tea on the breakup, just a bunch of speculation. What we did find out though was that Drake messed up big time. Rihanna didn't just hint at the breakup, she straight up said they weren't even friends anymore. And if there's one thing about Rihanna, when she's done, she's done. No going back. In an interview, she said, "We don't have a friendship now, but we're not enemies either," she told Vogue, which reported that she winced at the artist's name before her eyes glazed over with cool indifference. It is what it is. Well, Drake himself eventually spilled the tea on his album Certified Lover Boy. On the song Effing Fans, he said, "You said I was effing up when I was out here effing fans, and it made you look crazy." Fans immediately got what he was trying to say, and he got dragged so hard for cheating on Rihanna after he had spent years trying to get her to give him a chance. Oh, fans immediately picked up on what Drake was hinting at, and let me tell you, he got dragged for filth. Like, how do you cheat on Rihanna after spending all those years begging for a chance? But just because he cheated doesn't mean that he wasn't going to be nasty about it, because he kept coming for her in his music. In the song Fear of Heights, he said, "Why they make it sound like I'm still hung up on you? That could never be me. Gal can't ruin me. Better him than me. Better it's not me. I'm anti. Yeah, and the intimacy was average with you. Yeah, I'm anti because I had it with you." And it looks like he was also throwing shots at A$AP for being too blinded in love with Rihanna. He says, "Okay, I'm auntie like your daddy's sister, auntie like a family picture, and I had way better B than you. To be honest, yeah, that man, he's still with you. He can't leave you. Y'all go on vacation. I bet it's Antigua." So yeah, Drake doesn't like Rihanna or her baby daddy, which is why fans are now speculating that he might be secretly enjoying this whole legal showdown going on with Rocky. For context, Rocky's legal mess all goes back to this crazy incident in November 2021 that escalated out of nowhere. It all started with a clash between Rocky and A$AP Relly, a former close associate from the A$AP mob crew. That former part is important because their bond completely fell apart that night. The exact reason for the fallout is still a bit fuzzy, but one thing's for sure, it went from a verbal spat to full-blown chaos real quick. Things got physical, and just when it seemed like it couldn't get any worse, Rocky allegedly pulled out a shots rang out, multiple shots in fact, and while Relly managed to avoid anything too serious, he still got grazed by bullets. Relly's lawyers wrote, "Unbeknownst to Mr. Efron, A$AP Rocky was not just planning for a conversation and came armed with a semi-automatic. After arriving at the location, a conversation ensued whereby without provocation, warning, or any justification, A$AP Rocky produced a hand and intentionally fired multiple shots at Mr. Efron." The idea of premeditation really ramps up the seriousness of this case. If prosecutors can show that Rocky intentionally set up the confrontation with Relly, it could seriously mess with his defense. What might have initially seemed like a spur-of-the-moment argument could now be framed as something more calculated. And with alleged video footage in play, Rocky's situation is looking rough. Things reached a boiling point in April 2022 when Rocky was arrested at LAX after months of investigation into the 2021 The timing couldn't have been worse. Law enforcement chose that moment to make their move right when he and Rihanna were returning to the US, bringing even more public attention to an already complicated mess. The moment they landed, the police were right there, no waiting around. They arrested Rocky on the spot, right there on the tarmac. Rihanna was left standing there, having to take in the whirlwind of chaos happening right in front of her. The LAPD released a statement about the situation, saying the Los Angeles Police Department's robbery homicide division detectives have made an arrest in connection with a that occurred in the Hollywood area in November of 2021. On November 6, 2021, around 10:15 p.m., an argument between two acquaintances occurred in the area of Selma Avenue and Argyle Avenue in the Hollywood area. The argument escalated and resulted in the suspect at the victim. The victim sustained a minor injury from the incident and later sought his medical treatment. Following this, the suspect and two additional males fled the area on foot. They continued. Detectives worked diligently to investigate and corroborate the reporting information, which helped identify the suspects involved. The suspect has been identified as 33-year-old Rakeem Myers, a Los Angeles resident, also known as music artist A$AP Rocky. Early this morning, LAPD officers arrested Myers for with a deadly weapon at the Los Angeles International Airport. This case will be presented to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office for filing consideration. After that shocking arrest at LAX, A$AP Rocky didn't stay behind bars for long. He posted the $550,000 bail and was out within hours, back home and free, at least for the time being. By August 2022, the case officially made its way to court and Rocky entered a not guilty plea to the charges. The case is heading to trial in just a few days and it's about to get really intense. A$AP Rocky is gearing up for a major courtroom battle and the stakes couldn't be higher. If he's convicted, he could be facing some serious time, like up to 25 years in prison. And y'all, the prosecution has Rocky in a tough spot. There's actual video footage of him pulling a weapon on Melly, even though Melly tried to dip and get away from him. That video could really seal the deal, making it look like he's got no way out of this mess. Yeah, things are looking pretty grim for Rocky right now. While there's no direct video showing A$AP Rocky pulling the trigger, there is footage linked to the incident and it's definitely not helping this case. Adding to his troubles, the judge has decided the video will be allowed as evidence during the trial, which could seriously shape the jury's perception of what went down. This situation is not looking good for Rihanna or Rocky, and fans are convinced that Drake has to be living for the drama right now. Fans commented, if A$AP goes to jail, Riri still ain't gonna want Drake. He is through. Drake is always in his feelings. Drake, move on. You messed up, so it is what it is. And what a punk, Drake. You find humor in her man going to jail? I really thought you were better than that. You're a small man, Drake, and you're making Kendrick look good. But in the meantime, I want to know how you guys feel about this. Drop your thoughts in the comments, then check out this next video.